Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to some more Overwatch. Today we're gonna be playing with the one and only Mei. Mei is a very interesting hero and probably personally one of my weaker ones to play. But I had a lot of requests to try and showcase what her abilities are like and how you can go ahead and play her. Now Mei is more so than all of the other defensive characters in the game, really like a support type hero. And you'll see very shortly why I mentioned that. Because honestly, she's probably one of the worst heroes in the game to solo with. However, she's extremely valuable when it comes to team fights. So basically these shots that I got right here are going to all be based around fire. I have a basic left mouse button, or about ice rather. I have a basic left mouse button click that I can fire that basically shoots like this beam forward that freezes enemies in place, and I can also use my right mouse button click to actually do some damage from a distance. Now the real interesting thing about this hero is that if I manage to hold down my left mouse button click for long enough on them, they will eventually become frozen and unable to move, and that is really where obviously that team composition starts to shine. I need to make sure I move with the team. I need to try my very best to block off some passages that you will see very shortly, and then that I go ahead and do as much freezing as I possibly can. So I can actually be real annoying here. Well, that's actually the other ability that I got as well. One of the skills that I can go for is, for example, this iceberg. And that iceberg is really good because it allows me to basically, wall off a certain area of the map. And that's obviously really gonna make it super powerful if used correctly. On top of that, I have the ice block that I already showcased just now. That is not just an ice block that would allow me to mitigate all kinds of incoming damage, but it will also allow me to basically prevent myself from ever running out of health. So this right here will basically allow me to get back up to full health no matter what. The cooldown on it is relatively short, so you can use it, quite efficiently. So right here I can, for example, set up a wall, preventing the enemies from really properly moving into this area, which is obviously really good. And all of my skills, including my ultimate, will basically provide us with a little bit more slowing. I mean, I want to see if I can slow him down. There we go. You can see, basically at some point he's completely unable to move, and it becomes, just even more powerful. I can probably just block off, the majority of this area and make sure that the Vara player doesn't start raining justice from above. But yeah, normally I tend to be playing heroes that are a little bit more solo focused, but I can totally imagine, and I'm gonna call it right now, that there is gonna be a day where every single competitive team in the game is gonna run this hero. I mean, the fact of the matter is that if you have a well-coordinated team and a very good player on Mei, she's gonna be able to provide more support to the team than most of the supports will, just because of the sheer fact that she can slow down enemies, but also block off certain parts of the map. So, very powerful hero if played well, and obviously playing well is just the goal here. So, for example, that Bastion player trying to be annoying to our team, not happening. There is a high noon right there on the high ground. Gotta sit around the corner. Is he gone? Okay. Okay, my ultimate is ready to go. I can activate it right here. That will basically also add in a whole lot of freezing. And if they stay in it, they will actually be completely frozen once again, which is super good. Super good. As long as I have my shift ability on cooldown, most of the time you can sustain yourself for a long time. Once again, blocking that Bastion for the best of my abilities. He can go ahead and kill the wall as well. But so far so good. So far so good. I'm gonna go ahead and just heal myself up here, just because it seems that we're in a bit of a downtime after killing most of these enemies. I'm gonna go ahead and set up a wall here again, make sure that this dude can't escape. I mispositioned it slightly, but we almost managed to lock him in. But it looks like the very first objective is almost in our favor already. Gonna try and force him off of it. But so far, so good. So very nice first round right there, allowing us to, sustain ourselves for a long time. Now, most of the time though, in my experience with playing Mei, you're not gonna be able to top the damage meter, so get the most eliminations, or basically get the top amount of final blows for your team. That's not really the hero that she is. What are you guys doing? Everyone's looking upstairs. Okay, no, but you're not really gonna be able to top those damage meters. It's hard to exactly judge how good you guys, how good you're actually playing when you're playing Mei, because you're one of those unsung heroes, right? You have those in MOBA games as well. Most of the time it's gonna be the supports that are sort of like the unsung heroes that are completely carrying the game, and yet they are not really allowed to shine and get their time on screen, right? And that is exactly what Mei is like as well. Mei can become Stupidly overpowered. There we go. Blocking the Reinhardt in, making sure the rest of the team can't go out. What is? Keep on freezing them. Gotta be careful though here. Okay, once again gonna set up the wall here, blocking out that Bastion player. And like Mei is also on top of that a super powerful counter pick. Like obviously because of her, you can go ahead and just simply secure objectives a lot better versus certain amounts of heroes. So for example, versus Bastion, I can just sort of block his line in sight, right? I can just sort of get that that strength that he has completely down and mitigate most of it. So I'm just gonna wall off here. I'm just gonna wall him in. And so far, it's actually going rather well. I gotta be honest though, I do really enjoy playing these type of heroes. But I think after the game is set up a little bit better, and once we're like a little bit more in a situation where the meta has settled down and there's like competitive teams in the game and whatnot, I think this hero is gonna be one of the default picks and one of the absolute strongest one. Whereas at the moment, like you can see, you can still definitely dominate games if played well. It's just more difficult to really shine. Now, so far, this team has been supporting me extremely well, and it looks like, for the moment, we're just simply nuking them down. No, I'm not gonna actually chase. I'm not gonna chase. Is he gonna come back around? Oh, he's already dead. Alright, let me put up another wall then. I love doing that. I love doing that. One important thing to note, by the way, about my left click, is that the left click, oh, well, left click actually does, you know, simply just cost 1 bullet at a time. So if you look at the amount of bullets I got 200, then I can just hold down the right mouse button click using or left mouse button click using a right mouse button click instead though, does actually cost me a 50 amount of projectiles. So I can only cast this 5 times in a row, and there's a little bit of like a cast delay as well. The damage of that though is super high. Super high. Gonna go ahead and just block off one of those entrances. The nice thing about that wall is that the cooldown on it is relatively short, so oftentimes you can find yourself doing it a whole lot more often. Gotta be a little careful. I've had my ultimate up for a long time, but haven't really had much of a use for it. I did throw it down just now, which will slow them down substantially, and hopefully get us the victory anyway. I do end up falling there, but luckily for us, we did manage to secure the second objective as well, and therefore obtain the victory for this specific match. So, good early game here, good solid all-round play by the team, and let's see, do we get to play the game? Sadly we don't, but let's have a look what the Zarya managed to pull off here before we jump into the next one. Yeah, that wall, that wall is super valuable. Look at that. It's super valuable. While this hero is difficult to play in, like, public settings with quick matches and whatnot, you can see there's a stupid amount of, like, utility that you have on this hero. Alright, and for the second game, I find myself on the Temple of Anubis with the defending team here. So we need to try our very best to make sure that the enemies aren't going to be able to get through those double gates. I think I'm gonna use my shield there to try and block off part of this area. Immediately I'm forced to heal up here, but I grabbed this little healing globe as well. And I think I'm just mostly gonna stand in this area here. Oh, he's gonna pin forward. Oh, I thought he was trying to pin me. Sadly, that guy has so much health, I'm not even able to really do very much about it. Gonna set up a wall once again. Oof. Alright, let me grab the healing globe here from the high ground. Oh man, how'd he do that? Did he notice me, or did he just randomly get a lucky shot? He may have just gotten a lucky shot. Oh no, he did see me. Alright, nice little pin against the wall there. So, that actually is kind of unfortunate. Luckily, we do have a portal up, so that helps us out a ton. Let me see if I can go ahead and maybe stun him. Looks like it wasn't necessary, but that was still kind of scary. I can go ahead and obviously, you know, set up a wall here to prevent the teleporter from dying. That would help a lot, and we do have our ultimate up right now. The ultimate is basically this orb that I throw forward, and after a couple of seconds, if enemies are caught within the radius, it will freeze them. So it's quite good, because if they all try and push through, like at the same time, we can basically prevent them from doing that. Oftentimes you do need your shift ability to stop that from happening. I'm gonna go ahead and set up a wall there. Make sure that the enemies aren't gonna be able to push through at least one of the ends. Only it lasts for a couple seconds, obviously, but the Reinhardt is being quite useful here as well. That shield does break after a couple seconds, but... Alright, so 2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes remaining is pretty nice for us. I mean, we can use this to our advantage by just simply standing here and making sure that the enemies aren't gonna go through, right? I can just keep on putting up walls. I mean, the thing is, while I may not be providing the most damage for the team right here, and while, you know, I'm still being a nuisance, I'm just slowing the enemies down. And on defending teams like this, obviously this is huge, right? Like, I mean, they are forced to push onwards. If they don't get past these double gates, they're in trouble. Now, I think he already died, right? Yep, I think he already did go down. Oh, no, he didn't. Come on, Dan. I believe in you, Junkrat. Maybe it was a little too aggressive. Maybe a little too aggressive. Alright. Let's just get back up to the high ground. No reason for us to risk anything here. So far, so good. Oh, we do a lot of damage, though. If they stand still against that shot, I mean, it does a stupid amount of damage. Gotta be careful here, because that wheel is coming towards us. I can shoot it with one right click, but you do have to be extremely accurate with it. I'm just blocking them off from these areas. Now, there is a Widowmaker on the high ground, but she's already gone. Okay, I'm gonna try and use my ultimate here. There we go. And just freezing as many of those as possible. Do get a kill from it, which is quite nice. Woo! And all of a sudden, there's a spirit dragon. Oh, wow. Where did he come from? Wow, he went completely around me. I didn't even notice him. Oh, wow. I could have seen him easily. Maybe I could, maybe I actually did have vision of him. That's pretty silly of me. Definitely did not need to die there, but our time is running out. Well, we are defending, though. We are on a defending team, so this is all good for us. Once again, just gonna wall them in. Make sure there's only one room to go through, but there is the spirit dragon. And that is taking out a bunch of the enemies. To get a kill right there on the Widowmaker. That is once again up on the high ground. 10 seconds remaining here. Alright, let me freeze you. Didn't quite get the freeze in, but we do attain the victory right here with Mei. So, I managed to do 5 eliminations, which is not all too amazing, I'm afraid, but you know, we won the game. We won the game, and that's really what it's all about. So Torbjorn is gonna get the play of the game. Look at these sick mad skills. Him setting up the turret, activating his Q ability, and just simply hammering away at the turret. These kinds of plays of the game are so kind of silly. They're still pretty silly. But hey, we kept our ways to victory, right? So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you want to see more Overwatch content, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one.